good. Nobody else is really good. So I think that is a very important point to realize that the devotees are very rare. Manushyanam sahasrishu kaschit yatati siddhara. Krishna says, out of thousands and millions of persons, hardly one person endeavors for, sorry, I saw something.
Perfection.
Yeah, sorry, something came up on my screen. These things, they distract my brain. Thank you very much. I'll just hold on. This meeting is being live streamed. Yeah, great. Thank you. Okay. I've got to press a button to say okay and get it off the screen. So, Manush, out of many millions of hardly one endeavors perfection. And of those who have attained perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. So these are rare souls. We're all the devotees are very rare. So I think that for me is a big stumbling block. Maybe that is what is checking and not allowing me to come to these higher platforms of Krishna consciousness, that not holding the devotees in high esteem enough to see that, by God, everyone, it's not a small commitment to take to this process. Now, Vishnu Maharaj would say, yes, you've done it to save your own backside. That's why we take. So it's not, in one sense, that meritorious that we should have great accolades. Oh, you have taken to devotional service, but because we've taken because we've seen that this is the only way to save your own backside. Otherwise, you have to take birth after birth again and again. Yes. So in that sense, you can think, well, but to look at it in another angle, it is so meritorious because hardly one is interested in this activity. We're so covered by the illusory energy that we just want to eke out some situation and carry on with the madness until finally we're pushed down to death. But the devotee takes it up and he sees, yes, I should try this. And Krishna explains in many places, and Srila Prabhupada explained, that even a little advancement on this path can save one from falling down into the lower species of life, which is the position of the conditioned entity. So maybe if we can focus like that, there's so many nice things we can focus on, that the Srimad Bhagavatam has got a very clear, chalked out path of what has to be done and what has not to be done. The great acharyas have expounded on that through their writings to give us so many examples of how to come out of this forest, so-called forest of material enjoyment, the forest of enjoyment, and to reconnect ourselves to the spiritual activities of coming closer and closer to Krishna consciousness. And Krishna will reveal from within as we make progress on this path more and more. So if I'm sticking, I'm just trying to look for a timing factor. Where's the time factor here? Okay, so maybe we can. I don't know who's there or not there. I can't see, but maybe if there is anyone who would like to maybe give any reflection meaning just anything that's maybe piqued your interest in anything that we've been saying and discussing, and then we can maybe broaden the conversation a little bit by that. Or if there is a question, we can try to discuss a little more. So feel free to unmute if you have something that is thinking. It may have been a little sudden, my ending of that.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me okay, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. It's Nandaraj here, Prabhu. Thank you for illuminating class.
Hare Krishna.
Just reading through these verses, this one and previous one, it seemed to paint a very negative picture of Grasa life.
Oh,
so
I haven't read. Okay, please enlighten me.
So it's like forest of enjoyment and so many negative things being said about Grasa life. So what would you say about why Srimad Bhagavatam is doing this more or less again and again?
It's doing it. Thank you for your very kind question. It's doing it because Bhagavatam is pointing out, it's actually not pointing out Grihastha life, actually. It's pointing out Grihamedi life. So it's very important to understand the difference that the Grihastha life is, how would we say? Again, that's why we use, Srila Prabhupada used the word, it's a great science. It's a great science. How to live in this material world and not be of this material world. So the Grihastha is following the path of Pavriti Marg, but his intention is to come to Nivriti. So Pavriti means the path of sense enjoyment, but the Grihastha is a regulated process of sense enjoyment to live in that ashram, but his intention is not, I'm here to enjoy the material world and let me do it as a grihastha. No, his intention is to go back home, back to Godhead and get out of this material entanglement. But he's taking a path that is suitable to his psychophysical nature. In one purport, Srila Prabhupada speaks of that in the Gajendra, the story of Gajendra, excuse me, story of Gajendra, that one has to find an environment that is suitable. So Gajendra was fighting the crocodile, and Prabhupada says to fight the crocodile of Maya, one should find a situation which is favorable. It can strengthen one. So um, he uses that example in that situation that one can take to grihastha life if one is not able to be a renunciate. So the grihastha ashram is not for sense gratification, but it's for nivriti. So the idea is gradually one will make progress with the intention within the heart to come to the platform of nivriti. One must come to nivriti, but it's for most people it's a gradual process. And I mentioned the other, whatever it was, a few months back, that I was quite interested that Gauranga Prabhu, who's the temple president in Chowpatty, that wonderful temple there in Bombay or Mumbai, and he was giving a lecture. And I used to, in my Grihastha seminars, I used to say, trying to emphasize, up 90% are going to become Grihastas. So, we have to be, like that. I was saying, and he was saying in his lecture, he's the senior brahmachari. He's very devoted personality. And he was saying 99, he said 99.9% will become grihastas. So I thought, okay, that's telling it as it is. So grihastha life is there. And we have to learn how to execute the grihastha life with the mood of let me uh, satisfy my senses as little as possible. Hmm? Now, again, that's another one. What does that mean? What it means is that one person will be able to, again, simple examples. Srila Prabhupada helped us to understand. He knew that we needed simple examples. He said one person will eat 5, 6 chapatis and be satisfied. Another person tries to eat 6 chapatis, he won't be able to digest them. So he maybe eat 1 or 2 chapatis. But if he starts telling everyone else, you have to only eat 1 chapati, then like that. So we have a different capacity at different times. So, but the intention is to come to nivriti, to come to renunciation. And we see this in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, that so many of Lord Chaitanya's intimate associates were grihastas. So it's not that they were all sense enjoyers, but they were engaged according to, yeah. And yeah, again, I relate to these things. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that unless one is at the Paramahamsa stage, then he should be very careful that he takes care of four things in his life. He has to make sure that the health is proper, and he should have proper stimulus for the mind according to one's mental position. And then the third things, he has to be socially properly situated in the right ashram, married or unmarried or whatever the ashram, one has to be properly situated. And the fourth one, which is important, not just the health and the mental and the social, but we have to have the shastra, we have to have our sadhana, we have to have the engagement in devotional service. So we should take inspiration from the statements and that are there in the Bhagavatam and try to navigate our boat in a way which is not heading further into the forest of enjoyment, but to navigate our lives in a way that can gradually take us to the other side of anartha nivriti. We have so many anarthas, and they are gross and subtle and everything in between. And so it seems that that is devotional service. We think, oh, that's devotional service, struggling, but actually it's not. Real devotional service begins when we come to the other side of anartha nivriti. So again, it's a great science. Oh, have we started devotional service? Haven't we? I thought I was doing devotional service. Yes, we are doing devotional service. And but the ecstatic, blissful devotional service will only come when we come through anartha nivriti. And so therefore we have to be practicing and associating and hearing and chanting so that we can come more and more. And Krishna will reveal everything in due course. We are making progress. Don't think that we're not. We are progressing on this path. So very soon, if we continue, Krishna will reveal. And we get nectar. I've discussed that, we all devotees have discussed that. We get the nectar. So just keep hunting for it, keep desiring for it, and we'll together. And again, back to that, I know I'm drifting a bit on answering your question, Prabhu, but I have to be more appreciative of all devotees who are on this path, whether they're Kanista, Madhyam, Uttam, whatever, to be non-envious and try to see the good qualities, see their very sincere endeavors. And in that way, I think it will soften my heart. And if I can get a softer heart, chances are Krishna can reveal more nectar for me to make more advancement. Excuse me. Thank you very much for your kind question, Nanda Braj. I hope there was something in amongst all of that addressed.
Thank you, Prabhu. Such an illuminating answer, very broad, bright answer, and very good. The other thing, challenge I was going to ask you is that
Sorry, Prabhu,
said divorce.
can I ask you to turn your volume up at all? I'm fine. There's rain here on the roof and I can hardly hear what your question. Can
Okay,
you?
bro, can you hear me now?
I think so, yes.
Prabhu is mentioned that devotional life should be performed joyfully.
Yes.
There are a lot of challenges. Can you
Sorry,
bring it
it should
please?
be performed joyfully. Yes, then?
But there are a lot of challenges, especially in the beginning. So how do you navigate through the challenges? It's not very joyful in the beginning. Like,
Yeah. So again, back to Vinod's, that one, we can say, I'm performing devotional service, but I'm not very joyful. And then he says, chant anyway. Uh, so it's a beautiful, I want to find the essence of it. One devotee put it in an offering and he quoted like that. So I can hardly remember. There's all these excuses and experiences that people are saying, oh, I'm very fallen, I'm this, I'm that, and I'm struggling, and this and that. And back to Vinoji says, yeah, chant anyway, continue chanting, continue chanting. So I get what you're saying. So we have to find the joyful situation and put ourselves in it. So those to take, we're encouraged. So if we're struggling, then find devotees who are not struggling so much and who are a bit more joyful than ourselves and take their association. And it's not that we put, again, it's a great science. It's not that we just put on an imitation face. Yeah. Look at me, look at me. I'm so jolly. But the joyfulness of relishing the taste of Krishna Katha and relishing the processes of devotional service, we seek those devotees and take their association and and gradually learn the science of dealing with the challenges that will inevitably come in our lives. We've ultimately got to face the greatest challenge, which is to die. So the difficulties that we are given actually are described by the acharyas as great opportunities to train us to come to the other side of whatever specific difficulty we may be faced with by taking shelter of the Lord and the different angas of devotional service. Pardon me. Um, yeah, I've been discussing this point recently with a number of devotees, and I'm trying to remember there was all these little gems. When we have discussions about such subject matters, occasionally you get a little gem, and they're hard to keep capture and keep. So, yeah, please, Prabhu, you say something. I know when you've asked that question that you have some, it's not that you have some realization on that point. So please, maybe you can share some things that maybe you've found that are helpful to face the challenges and help you to continue.
Thank you, thank you for the answer. I asked this question once to His Holiness Bhakti Charan Maharaj. He says
Yes.
like learning a bicycle. So initially, you lose balance, you can fall down, but by practice, you can then come to a stage you can leave the handle and just ride. So bhakti is like this. Initially, there are a lot of challenges. By practice, you can perfect it.
Yes. It's very nice. And to add to that, if I can, is again back to Vinod Thakur saying that we have to be introspective and see, if we keep doing the same damn thing, we keep making the same damn mistake, there's something we need to figure out what could it be that's blocking the progress. Why do I keep falling off the bike all the time? Why is it that I kind of go around the bend, go around the corner and fall off, and then I go around, keep doing the same thing? So maybe there's something that's blocking that next stage. So I alluded to it a little bit there and saying myself, I think maybe something that's blocking me is trying to appreciate more the sincerity in all devotees, and that if I can focus more there instead of seeing the faults and the shortcomings, um, then it might help me to stop falling off the bike at the stage that I'm at, if you get what I mean. So that's what Bhaktivinoda is saying. So we should keep 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 trying to learn as we go through and see what might be blocking us to go further to the next stage. And Krishna we will be successful. Just keep chanting. Start, don't stop. But don't keep banging our head against the same wall, trying to see if we can understand. And it's great if we have friends that we can inquire with and discuss in the way that we're discussing now a bit and talk. It's again part of the science. It's not easy to reveal your mind to someone and then to possibly hear their answers if somebody points out that maybe, yeah, when when you act in this way, it's not so good, or this and that. It's not easy to hear correction, but actually, again, I'll quote Vaisheshika Prabhu. He says one should hold the um, should hold the idea that I live to be corrected. Wow. It's like, wow. I'm thinking maybe I could once try it to try and open up to be corrected. And he was saying that if we can adopt that mood that I live to be corrected, um, then you're making some progress. So I think the only idea is that we've got to hang out with people that are more advanced than ourselves, associate with them, hear from them, serve them, appreciate them, and we'll see the miracle happening, that the heart will soften. Krishna will reveal himself more to us, and in a way which will make us very joyful, very happy. And yeah, so again, this science, there's a difficult, I mentioned just death's coming. It's quite a challenge. But if we toughen our, practice how to overcome challenges and come through to the other side, and then become inspired again and enthusiastic. And then you think, but I've done this so many times over so many years. Yes, that's what that's the game we're up for. We've signed up for that. I'll face challenge after challenge. I'll make adjustments. I'll realize my follies. I'll mend my ways. I'll make my apologies. I'll try to become humble when I was not humble. And in this way, I will continue in my devotional life so that when the time of death comes, I will be able to face that challenge and see that Krishna, you have prepared me so nicely by giving me challenges. And I've learned that no matter what is I'm faced with, I have to take shelter of you. You are my only shelter. And now at this time, I take shelter at your lotus feet, as I've done throughout my life. Tatenukam pamsu samikshamanam punjana ivatma kitamba pakam ridvagma pudvir bidatam namaste jiveta yo mukti sade sadayabak. Has become the rightful claim of the devotee. I think I not making too much sense, but there's a thread there, Prabhu, isn't it? There's a thread for us that, and we have to
Thank you
come
so
back.
much. A very elaborate answer. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, we have to get back to that joyful place.
Yeah.
So it's that's the nature of the soul. We are joyful, and it's Maya's saying, ah, don't be joyful. You've struggled in this way and that way, and it's always a struggle and blah 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 blah. And then what's Maya's invitation? What is okay, Maya, you win. I've stopped struggling. Now what have you got for me? What have you got for me? You've got nothing for me. There's nothing you can give. All you'll give is false hopes for pleasure in the material world, which is temporary. So you've got nothing to offer. So I'd rather continue with my mind, body, and words to engage in the process of devotional service. Haribo, and get jolly. And we get jolly. And then the more we can hang on to devotees who are jolly, that will continue. And then there'll be a struggle of some kind, and we'll realize we have to get in the pages of the Bhagavatam and continue the process. There's no other way. Krishna, thank you so much for asking the question, Prabhu, and allowing me to somehow get connected to that thread, the rope that the great personalities are offering to us. Hold on to the rope and we'll come out. Oh, Krishna. But amazing. I don't know who it was. I was watching somebody, who was it? I can never remember, but because I do watch a number of different persons, and they were quoting that one that, you'll be surprised. Oh gosh, it was a poem And I can't give you the poem, but it was a poem, and it was all about going back home, back to Godhead. And you'll be surprised who'll be there. You'll think, how did that person get here? And how did that person get that there? And then you ask the question, so why is everyone looking at me? I've just come back home, back. Why are they all looking at me? They're so surprised that you got there too. So when we focus on the negative side, then we're in a negative way. Better we focus on the positive way. Enough from me. Nanda Braj Ki Jai. Any other question? And
Thank you, Prabhu. Very enlightening, very broad-based answer. Very satisfying. Thank you, Prabhu.
thank you very much. And thanks for reminding me to be here for the class. Krishna bless. Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai.
Jai.
Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Vanchakalpa
Jai
Tarubhaya.
Sila
कृपा पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
Prabhu
वैष्णवेभ्यो
Koti Vaishnav Binda ki jai.
जय
Grace Jai Shila Prabhu ki jai.
Hare
Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur
जय
Bande Hari Hari Bol. All
Hari Hari
glories to
Bol.
Assembled Devotee.